Another enhancement in Inventor 2013 is the way the origin planes are displayed. Rather than selecting just the edge of the work plane, the user can now select inside the work plane itself to activate a sketch, just as before. Another new modification is the ability to scale the sketch based upon the first dimension. When I place this, it will scale up, since the initial dimension was larger than the placed one. If I add another dimension, it will have no bearing on whether or not this geometry is scaled up or down. However, if I delete the first dimension placed, and if there's only one dimension on the sketch, that dimension then controls how big or small the resulting sketch becomes. Another enhancement for Inventor 2013 is the ability to create a center point rectangle. The user selects the center point of the rectangle, drags one of the vertices, and keys in a value. Or they could just stretch it as well. Either way works. When changing the dimension value, it will again expand or contract out from the center, and the user winds up with a rectangle based upon a center point. Another way of creating a center point rectangle is with the 3-point center option. The user selects the center point of the rectangle as before. This time, the second selection changes the angle that the rectangle will be placed in, as opposed to just vertical horizontal. They can then drag it to whatever they want, or key in any value that they need to. Once this is done, they can go back and change any of the values that they see fit. Another enhancement within Inventor 2013 across all sketch environments is the ability to create an arc length dimension that drives the sketch. The user selects dimension, changes the type from the default to arc length, selects its location, and places it. Again, changing it from a radius type to arc length, locating it, and if they want to go back and change it, they can do that as well. Another improvement in the sketch environment is the ability to do a dynamic trim. Users can still select single edges as before to do a trim, but now they can press and hold the select or pick button and drag through to trim edges. Conversely, if they do a right click and change it to extend, pressing and dragging through will do the same thing. Another enhancement is the ability to select multiple features in the browser and still successfully change their properties. So if I select these 3 features, change the information, or I can select multiple faces and change that information as well. Another enhancement to the assembly environment is to reuse components in an assembly mirror, notifying the user when it will not work. So I'm going to select Assembly Mirror. I'll pick the assembly, set the mirror plane, and then tell I want to reuse these components. Anything that's appearing in bold lettering is not available for reuse upon this mirror. Since this is very short, it's obvious what cannot be used. In an extremely large assembly, this can be quite cumbersome. So now we can copy this information to the clipboard. The user can then go into Notepad or any other word processor, and they can see which components are not available for reuse. Another new enhancement is something to the frame generator, being able to align a frame member through geometry. You see here that it's being placed between 2 points, and if I want to change the alignment of this, I can now just set the face to rotate that through, or if I need to go through a different face. This is much easier than setting the angle based upon a rotation value. And of course this also works in the edit mode. If I want to change this after it's been placed, it'll show me which face it's going to. I can change that, select OK, and the update will occur. Another enhancement to 2013's frame generator is we now have the ability to miter between a straight member and a curved member. We also have the capability of doing a notch between those two shapes as well.